Alright, stream started. Good luck, guys. I'm going to go ahead and reduce the screen size, the zoom size, and expand my screen. Good luck to both of them. This is Pirate R, and I'm doing the um, commentary for a final game between blockmonoid and mennonot. Two super players in the final of monthly two-player knockout for November 2023. Both players are expert, really good players, the cream of innovation, and it looks like it's going to be a fabulous game. Um, Mennonot is thinking about what could be his um, yes, best option. Yep, he is right. He's gonna melt a red card unless he has pottery or agriculture. Speak of the devil. So yes, that makes clothing less fun, right? I mean, not in the wrong sense, but yeah, clothing is not going to be as effective against pottery because Mennonot now has more leaves than Block does. So mysticism did a pretty good job of covering up triple um, the triple castle threat as well as the clothing threat. Let's see what Mennonot is going to have. I'm sure the game is going to tell us, the game log, which cards he has. Okay, I think he's going to go for the city states. I don't know. So Mennonot is probably checking his score pile to see which cards are gone. I'm sure he has a great idea which cards are in Block's score pile. Um, of course, having pottery is always fun. You can score a bunch. He actually went for, yep. Thing is, yep, Mennonot is counting on pottery in order to be able to combat clothing. Now, city states at the moment cannot do much, but domestication is going to do its trick, right? So let's see what happens here. Mennonot can always go for pottery. That's not gonna give him the first achievement, unfortunately, but he can continue to draw cards, right? Let's see what's gonna happen. So this game is gonna be quite interesting. Both players are just well matched. Block has won a few championships. Mennonot has been in quite a few finals. um, we're waiting for him to get his trophy and join the list of champions. So I have high hopes from both of them and this game. Let's take a look and see what they had, who they had beaten. Mennonot beat Thraka, Python 85, Riznaro, Curiosity Cat, and Coleman 07. Block beats Thai guy, fiendmonger, Swarios, great skillet, cat crowder. Huh. They haven't had very many tough opponents, right? So Block has philosophy in his hand, and mennonot. Hmm. Okay. So mennonot drew a 2 and then drew a 2. I mean, he drew a 2 and then did pottery. Presumably to give to. Oh, there you go. Now that's interesting. And city states is useless. Of course, ores is always fun, right? That's always fun. And you know what? Mennonot now has more castles, and Block has two twos in hand, and the most dangerous two at this time is which one is that? That would be road building, right? But in order to be able to steal map making, he's gonna need to have two cards in hand and road building on the, well, road. So let's see. Yeah, he might go for currency. Now at the moment, both have the same number of crowns on their board, so map making seems to have come to a sad stop. However, that does not stop ores, right? Let's see what ores can do. Okay, so philosophy got returned as well as a 3, and he's counting on the shared the bonus 3 to be not a crown. So I'm sure we'll know if ores gets utilized, what 3s are in Block's hands. But the thing is, I mean, he may or may not be able to get. Here you go. So now this is engineering and alchemy. Alright. So if he melds engineering and alchemy, he could take all these castles off of his board, right? So yeah, let's see. I think the danger from ores has been kind of negated. I'm surprised after melding alchemy, he probably could have done domestication and melded, what's that thing, engineering, right? Because next turn he could have easily done engineering and wiped out Mennonot's board. But he's eating, right? So the match was actually scheduled to be played, I think, was it yesterday or something? they could not decide on a time. Not yesterday, Tuesday. What is it today? Thursday. Okay, so what's in his hand? Oh, he wanted Ors to be able to draw a 3. You know, you could have done mysticism too. Probably wipe out alchemy. Let's see. Now, the good cards at the moment are paper, right? Paper is the coveted card. So is currency. And let's not forget pottery, right? People try to survive on pottery. Hmm. Now, if there is machinery, yeah, that's not going to do anything because it's going to be the same number of leaves. So let's see. Unless Mennonot wants to do canal building. Yep. Here we go. There goes these cards. Like I said. And you know what? Mennonot could just do pottery and then meld a 4. If it's a purple or a red or a green 4, he could meld it, and then, or if it's a, hmm, neat. Now, alchemy is very tempting, but depending on the force in force, well, he has only one 4 in hand. He could try and go for the 4s, but I doubt it because with 4 cards, some of which could be really interesting, he may be looking for translation and optics, which could be a really good uh, thing, right? Translation and optics. He's going for translation and optics. Yep. So yeah, next, if translation is in his hand, he might meld it using domestication. Cool. Education. He's gonna get a 5 in hand. Good move. Now that comes to the spot where you wonder what is the 3 that got returned. Well, we don't know, but we'll see. Yep. Yeah, we don't know what is the 3 that he returned, but it could get melded using optics. It could be a junky card like, say, feudalism. But you know what? That's what. Oh, now that worked out for his benefit, right? Okay, so that's the 4th achievement. And if he could find a good purple card, if Block could find a good purple card, he could actually take up, you know, take his way to higher age cards. So let's see what is Mennonot's move. He's got a 5 in hand. But you know what? He is way behind in score. He could go for medicine, steal the 4, and I mean, that's not going to stop Block from getting the 4th achievement, of course, but it is something at least. It will cut down his score considerably. So Mennonot is thinking about his next move. Like I said, currency is a pretty good card and it is dangerous as well. And I have a feeling block does not have translation in hand, right? Unless it got used and I totally forgot, which has happened, you know. Hey, I don't have the most present of the brains. Here you go. There goes medicine. Maybe meld a 5. Now, if the 4 in block's hand happens to be enterprise, that could be trouble for Mennonot because enterprise could either steal medicine or in case he has pirate code or what other crowns are there. Pirate code, there is steam engine, and I've forgotten everything else. Well, there is societies and astronomy. That could actually be great to have. Okay, well, Gabriel has joined. Let me see. Is it possible to get Gabriel to join the stream? I don't know. Let me see. Well, what am I gonna do with Terra Nova? Nothing, right? Let's see. Is there a way to invite another player? I don't know actually. I do not know. Sorry, folks. Which game is that? Oh, innovation. Alright, I have my own innovation game. Alright, so let's see. Block achieved a 4, and then he's gonna do currency, of course, getting a good badge of score. Okay, so he's gonna go for a 6. I think he had a 5 before, which may be a blue card, which is why he didn't melt it, right? So we'll see what 6 he has in hand, right? So, oh, I need to expand the screen because I like to be able to see both players' boards. So, Block has 29 points, Mennonot has 13, and Block has scored a bunch using currency and, of course, optics. Now, Mennonot has pottery, and wondering if he keeps doing pottery, the thing is he will run out the age 4 cards, but that would help Block because he could actually do optics and get the 5th achievement, right? He could optics his way to the 5th achievement. So I don't know. um So he used Block used optics, and he melded navigation, so he scored a 4, which is actually pretty interesting. So now mennonot could actually do steam engine, draw and tuck a 4, which would wipe out the level 4 cards, but that would help pottery. However, let me see if I can create a Zoom call. Let's see. Where is Zoom on my... Hey Siri, open the Zoom app. Let me see, how do I get to... how do I find the share? Okay, is there a share? Google Box URL. Okay, let me see. No, it's not this thing. Whiteboard, blah 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 blah. Okay, I have no idea. Alright, so mennonot, he did pottery and he scored a couple of fours. Optics got statistics, right? So let's see. Okay. Oh. Hey, Gabriel. Hey there. Yeah, thanks for joining. Yeah, let me see if. Yes, it is. It is pretty interesting, and both players are doing a great job with their game. So let me see if I could connect this Zoom call with my um, with the stream thingy. Let me see. Audio capture. My husband is the one who does all that, and I am kind of really pathetic with these things. I'm not even gonna bother. So I'm gonna wait until he finishes up because he's trying to build a bookshelf in my son's room. So let's see. All right. So yeah, I mean, I got the phone over here next to my mic. So yes, your audio is gonna get recorded into the stream. So that is great.
Cool. And so it looks like a marble of canning. So maybe Mennonot is thinking of dognight canning next time with the idea that this will get some of the higher powered sixes in the blue or the red or eventually the purple.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep, that would be impressive if he gets that. Yes, like was that industrialization, and if he gets say, but he could score it. Yes, machine tools is also good because
And
block.
with blockmonoid having already 4 achievements, like and enough score for the 6 if you were to get the tech level 6.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mennonot has to be thinking about, well, I got to get this 6 because once block has 5 achievements, that's really hard to come back from.
Yep, that is true. Yep. Now, see, now I was saying that Block is actually eating his dinner while he's playing his game. So, yeah, and he's still doing pretty good. The game is favoring him so far. Mennonot is playing really good, of course. And yeah, and that would be interesting to see what he's thinking. So, yeah, that is that remains to be seen. And yes.
I feel like if I'm block, I'm thinking, okay, how do I get to the 6 first before Mennonot gets there with enough points? It's hard because there's nothing there that like really lets block dig. Using experimentation or optics might help, but it's also like you got a pretty good board right now if you really want to cover anything up.
True. Now, see, the only way he could mess up Mennonot is if he optics his way to the pirate code, which could steal the score that Mennonot has. That could really mess him up.
You could also consider using navigation, but that's really like not gonna, if navigation is gonna lose ground against canning probably over time.
Exactly. Yes.
I mean, I guess it depends on what 6s come up. If they all have factories, or if they are all greens and yellows, then maybe not. But that's
let's see now. With statistics, yeah, he doesn't have any leaves underneath statistics. And mennonot does have an extra leaf with the medicine. So,
But
and
I guess yeah. And I guess that leaf under the medicine leaf will be revealed if mennonot uses canning. But it is a little dangerous to get rid of that pottery. Makes you a little more vulnerable to statistics.
that is true. Yes, yeah, that is true. Ah, well, so Block is not thinking, huh? Let's see.
I see.
Ah, the cat.
Oh, cat's eating his cat. Well, I understand how that goes. The cat decides it's time. Oh, it's time.
That's yes. I think I saw this little meme today where this guy had he was trying to be in a snow sled, and he was anti dogs, so he had a bunch of cats tied to his snow
Oh,
sled.
wow.
And the cats were all just sitting there and laying down and
Pretty good.
it was so funny. I mean, I didn't even have to read it. I just saw it and I started to laugh. It's like, I know that story. I have a cat, and yeah, lately my cat has actually become a bit jealous because our neighbors has a cat as well. And my daughter, whenever my daughter sees the neighbor's cat out there on our fence, she goes out and pets the cat. Well, so lately the cat
Dangerous to do in front of your cat.
I know, I know. But see, the thing is that our cat is totally indoor cat. She is not outdoor cat. But the neighbor's cat is an outdoor cat and tends to stroll over and peeks in from our back door. So, yeah, there has been somebody has noticed and started to hiss. So, things are a little, green around here, let's say. The green monster has been sighted.
I see.
So, do you happen to have any pets, Gabriel?
Yeah, I also have a cat, and my cat is also an indoor cat, and also gets very excited, very agitated when the neighbor cats come to visit. That's seriously.
It's funny. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, and so as you predicted, the pirate code is revealed, and now Mennonot has a real clock because
Yep.
that pirate code is going to eat the score and like plenty of crowns to feed to it.
Yep. Yep. So, starting with city states, which he will lose if he uses pirate code because, optics is gone. But,
Then navigation, then currency, and even to clothing if Mennonot doesn't get more crowns.
yep.
So that's a lot of score that could be lost.
Yep.
That
That
way.
is, yeah, he could lose all of his score actually.
Okay, but I guess gonna keep putting pressure on with pottery.
He could, yes.
I'm not sure I understand that as like can't really do it again. If you do it again, then block can just experiment and achieve.
Yes.
So I wouldn't do it again anyway, unless I'm giving up on the six.
Yeah, he could just.
It's tough.
Yes, I agree. That's a very tough move. That's a very tough decision.
Yeah.
He might just do canning and not
Yeah,
tuck.
maybe canning is the best try. It's not very doesn't seem like it has like such a high chance of avoiding the pirate code of
Mm-hmm. So now, I mean, okay, so he went for reformation. That was the 4 in his hand.
Interesting. So this is putting like a little pressure on, like saying you got to use the pirate code, or else I am
Mm-hmm.
going to canning and then achieve. But
Yeah.
that's not so much pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can even do it with navigation. You don't even have to do the pirate code.
So he's getting a 2 first, and then he might go for the pirate code. That would do 2, 3, 4, 5. That will wipe out 5 points. Um, and Canning will get pottery and reformation. That's 5 points. Yes, that would give him the 6th achievement. So
I guess at this point, Block doesn't even have to do the pirate code or navigation immediately.
mm-hmm.
Another option would be to draw that 5 and then sort of lock in the 6 more or less.
Yes. I mean, yeah,
For the following turn.
that is true. And you know what? H6 has all those great cards that he could get with experimentation.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a few things that maybe you'd be sad to cover over here, but yeah, most things that you get with experimentation are pretty good and would be some kind of upgrade.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think he's trying to think
He does
about.
draw the 5, and so sets himself up to experiment into the 6th achievement if desired. So Mennonot can either like put that pressure on. If Mennonot uses canning, there is a chance, right, that he'll be able to get the 6. Is that true? No, it's not true.
No.
Because it would have to be red, and both of the red 6s have factories. So
Yep.
Not gonna get that achievement.
Mm-mm.
At least not this turn.
Yep, I think he was counting the score and the cards. But then, we have done that, of course. So yeah, he's going for.
Still gonna try with canning.
Mm-hmm.
Not the best canning, without deeply buried purple, but one does what one can. Probably canning again now.
So he.
But I think at this point, Block looks like they're in a very dominant position now that
Yep.
that 6 is locked in. It's nice to have industrialization there. Like that's gonna give you a big board pretty quick, but now you can't let Block get the 7, and Block already has the score from 7, so it's
Yep.
really a tough situation for Mennonot.
Yep. So, but the thing is,
Okay.
Mennonot can actually get astronomy, right? If he happens to have a green, if he happens to get a green card, yeah, he could easily get that achievement. Or he can just go for.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say he could just go for the what's that one? Monument. Yes. I mean, he could get it just now.
Monument would definitely be possible, but I think like the real thing that you got to be worried about if you're Mennonot right now is like, how do I keep Block from getting the 7? Because if Block gets the 7, then he wins. So instead of like going for the achievements myself, if I'm Mennonot, I'm thinking, what on earth can I do to make sure I get that 7?
Now he's going for canning.
Maybe searching for some way, I mean, trying to get score, but also searching for some way to increase that level and get up to the 7s.
mean, the card he's looking for is that the blue one.
Yeah, of course.
But you
Makes
know,
sense. Atomic theory.
atomic theory, exactly.
But you can't get atomic theory with canning because
Exactly.
if you draw and tuck it, then you're gonna score it. So
You're gonna.
that wouldn't really work.
I know you could wipe it out.
Mm.
So maybe he should just draw it.
Yeah,
Or
I
you,
feel like that's really the best shot he has because with experimentation there, like once we get to the end of the sixes, Block will be able to jump on it and get that seven fast.
mm-hmm. That is true. Yep.
And if Block has anything with a leaf right now, then mennonot would be vulnerable to vaccination. That's another danger. Block is really in a dominant position at this point.
Yes. Yeah, that would straightforward get him the next card. Draw and melt is it? Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's only going to wipe out 2 points, but still, that would still only give him a. That would give mennonot another 6 and a 7 for Block. So yes.
That seven would do it, but I feel like if Block had something with a leaf, it already would be out. So I guess maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, anatomy is not going to work. So what is the 5 that could? Fives are. Let me look at the cards
Did we
again.
see measurement?
We have not. I mean, chemistry and physics and coal, I have not seen those cards either. Societies, not at all. So he's gonna
Yeah,
wipe out.
we see the pirate code, yeah.
So he's going for score. Oh well. He wants to stop mennonot from.
Just sort of biding time and stealing those cards, and now mennonot's gonna have to like burn through the sixes to get to the sevens and do that while the score is under some pressure. So it's a kind of a tough situation.
You know, I'm wondering if he should just draw a couple of sixes. That way, Block can
Just has
just.
to be careful that like then what happens if Block draws another 6 and uses the pirate code again? I guess now not vulnerable to the pirate code, but vulnerable to vaccination, which is worse. Yeah, I feel like this game might be over if Block gets a chance to dogma vaccination. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
7. Block has over 35 points, so that'll be it. If Mennonite can't stop that.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I just realized he got another leaf through currency. So, yeah, that is why he was doing the pirate code.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, that's a beautiful sort of coup de grace if that's what it turns out to be.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Trying to think if there's any outs. Gotta like find a way to render yourself invulnerable to that vaccination, but there aren't any sixes left that would do that. No sixes would leave.
Mm-hmm. Now you might as well go ahead and get monument. I mean, that's what I would think. Because banking is not going
Like just
to
to
do.
get a second achievement.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because banking he'll just have to share. Let's see, would banking give him an extra crown? Nope. It would give Block an extra crown.
Draws a 6. That means that's essentially just giving up because there's nothing he's gonna be able to do with any of the sixes.
Yep, that was yeah, kind of a tough situation he's in.
I think the game is over essentially.
done industrialization, and maybe, like, on the second go of industrialization, he could have tucked leaves somewhere.
He could have tucked a leaf, but in that case, I think then Block could just use experimentation, and at that point, all the sixes are gone. So Block gets a 7 and can achieve the 7 that way.
Right. Yeah, that is true.
So I think it was a clever move last turn of Block to expose that currency and dig through the sixes of the
Right, that is true.
last couple of turns.
Yep, yep. So I have to say, his dinner didn't dullify him.
I guess not.
He stayed sharp even during dinner and while talking to his cat.
Yeah, when I joined the commentary, I thought that okay, it was clear that the Block was ahead, but I thought that mennonot still had a chance. But then very rapidly, Block just tightened that grip until there was like really not very much that mennonot could do. Getting the pirate code, I think that play you saw that play, and I didn't see that one coming, and that really did it.
Yep, yep. That was surprisingly. Yeah, it was a surprisingly good luck. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. Okie dokie. Alright. Good game. That was yep, it was a short game, but yeah, it worked out. Yeah, I'm just typing with one hand, actually, one finger. So I'm just typing like an old woman. So yeah, that was a really surprisingly one-sided game. I mean, yes, mennonot. There seemed to be a lot of times where it looked like mennonot could do better, but somehow the game didn't favor him a lot. So, want to hop on Zoom for a conversation? Let's see about starting a Zoom call. Well, let's see. So let's see. Okay, yeah, Gabriel, I think let's hope they are able to join. Hey there. Hey Tim. Congratulations on yeah, this is Pyrodar. Congratulations on getting the second place in the tournament.
Thank you.
Yep. It was it was a very interesting and very intriguing game. And the thing was, we were kind of debating about, this card and that card, and this could happen and stuff. And things were, you know, things were kind of, a lot of things worked out and for a block, especially when the pirate code showed up. It was like,
I was thinking back to the game, and I was like, okay, I know I got lucky somewhere. And I was like, which moment did I get lucky? And it was really that use of optics. At that point, I think pirate code and maybe one other card with crowns were in the 5 pile, but most of the cards did not have crowns, and so I lucked out with that pirate code came out, because that also made me run through the fives faster, and if it had been anything else, I would have not gotten the fives fast enough, and pottery would have just gotten mennonot to 30 pretty easily. Yeah, I had not seen that line with the pirate code, and Attica saw it very clearly and sort of predicted it right before it happened. But at that point, I thought that was a really pivotal point in the game. At that point, I thought that Tim had a very good chance of turning it around and like getting right back in it. But then once the pirate code came out, it was like it just completely clamped down. Yeah, I felt like education was giving me some shots. I mean, it was a strong start with clothing, and then you were able to with city states, knock out my defense, which is a combination I've not actually seen that often, which is one to watch for. Yeah, but then I was able to hang on to pottery, and I made those jumps, and the medicine would help too. But yeah, you had the lead. Kept on like almost making it. Like I kept on like I'm clawing it back, and then no, it slips away. Yeah. Well, you got the 2 before me. That definitely. I was a little annoyed at that. Yeah, I felt like okay, I'm equalizing coming back, but then yeah, you dominated crowns, and there might have been a scenario where I was able to defend against crowns, but I just didn't have display cards either, and you were able to churn real fast. So. Yeah, neither of us really had an opportunity to splay. I mean, I think I splayed. I was considering using printing press just to splay, and maybe I had an idea of returning construction with that, with printing press, and then using domestication to draw construction, and then meld construction and get empire. But I decided that was a little too slow. So. Yeah, something you played really well that I think a lot of players sometimes miss is the key of tempo with the 2 cards left. And you were always, whether with optics or then with experimentation, able to just even when I had the tempo to meld first multiple times, you were able to beat me to it with the optics and then with experimentation. Yeah, and you got industrialization, which normally would be great in your situation. You can get monument, but then that just opens up the 7 for me. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the end of the game score looks like I lost badly, but I felt like I was able to make a lot of threats. It's like one of those football or soccer games where there's lots of shots on goal, but only one of them to achieve when it came through. Right. But it was a lot of fun. Like it felt like it was exciting, right? But some games feel like a blowout, and right. It didn't feel like a blowout. Really, I think right around pirate code is when it got catastrophic.
Yes.
Yeah. I definitely thought, age 1, I just barely beat you. Age 2, you just barely beat me. Age 3, I just barely beat you. It felt like pretty good back and forth, and then when I got 4. And then definitely when I got 5, it was like, okay, now I'm feeling kind of comfortable. And then it was just, 5 was the key one. Or was it 5? No, 6 was the one, right, that pirate code let me get before you. Yeah. I think that I'm looking at the replay right now, and it seems like there was like another, maybe this was planned, but what you were able to do with engineering was pretty helpful. That was a key moment too. That's right. Because I was about to. Yes, feeling with engineering, that was a key moment too. Yep. Yeah, I was worried that you were gonna do like something like sharing mysticism or something like that, and that would mess up the castle majority. And it was like, just do something neutral, like score or something like that.
Yeah, mysticism did pretty good job of covering masonry. That was pretty funny moment. That was I was like, what? Oh yeah, did what it meant to do. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That was funny.
Yeah, it's a mysticism is the sneaky offensive card.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we're just it's so powerful that way. And of course, it can also do what you did with optics and with. If I had lost it, I could have been doing what you were doing with optics and experimentation to pull directly off the stack for the tempo.
Right, and I knew that you were returning things that didn't have crowns for my optics, so it's definitely had to time that. Like, I was keeping track. Did I return that 4? Did you return that 4? Because if I returned it, I know it has crowns. If you returned it,
Well, that's a good point. I was not. I actually did. At one point, I returned gunpowder, which would have been really bad. But I was tracking. I knew what the bottom 4 were for a while there. Because I was worried about statistics, so I was holding one of Reformation for a long time in my hand, which only came out much later because I wanted to avoid be able to keep on playing medicine.
I'm surprised you didn't meld gunpowder right after I wiped you out with engineering, because then at that point, I think I had only one color that didn't have castles on top.
It came up later, but I forget why, but by the time I had access to it,
I think you had a 4 and a 5 in hand. 5 was what, steam engine, and the 4
Yeah.
must have been pirate code. So
yeah, I was kept on. Maybe I should have. Maybe that was a miss, because I was really focused on not keeping medicine so I could use it, which was why I didn't go to steam engine earlier. And it's possible that was just a mistake. Like, that's a line that could have. But then, of course, steam engine just turns you closer to 5, because as soon as I start playing steam engine, you get access to 5, and then the whole age lead disappears. So
that is true, yes.
Right. Education only gave you like a 1 age lead every time. Like, I was on the 3s and it got you to the 4, and then I was on the 4s and it got you to the 5. Yeah. It's nice.
of course, kept throwing me back in scoring, which was a big problem too.
Right.
Because a couple of times I felt like I was getting close. You maintained a pretty solid scoring right there. Yeah, very interesting. I like when those games have the scoring versus age dynamic, and this one definitely did.
And you know, one weird thing about this game, and it's few games, I think there's still a bunch of those, but there were no special achievements in this game. It was completely score
Very
based.
unusual.
Yeah, that's true.
If I had equal, I mean, it's because we were both pushing hard for the scoring. As soon as if I had caught up at any point, you would have, that you probably would have been able to win on the special achievements.
Yeah.
But it was because we were both pushing hard to compete for those achievements. I think was a big factor. I had astronomy later on, but it was too late to yeah.
Yeah, you had astronomy, and you already had the yellow 6 and the red 6, and so it would have been pretty easy to get universe. But
yeah, and of course you mentioned already that by the time I got industrialization, it would have been deadly for me to play because it would have given you 7 access, and that was it.
Right. That is true.
Yeah, but I definitely had to play that carefully, like, not let you tuck 3 and then have the last 1 or 2 be a 7 that you tucked, because you had 2 free fields for that,
That's what I was hoping on right up to the end when I melted coal, was I was hoping to be able to unveil but then of course with vaccination, yeah, you were able to. Yeah, you pulled a lot of cards that did immediate melds. So key in that race.
Yeah, it seemed like for a little while, like maybe there was an out if you could find atomic theory in time, but once vaccination came down, then it looked like, well.
Okay.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I always look forward to our games, blockmonoid.
Yep.
Yeah,
No, sorry,
I don't think I've actually beat you yet, ever. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
I look forward to it.
Well, I don't mind that statistic.
One of these days.
Right.
You know, Tim, I'm going to say something. you can entirely beat Mr. Mr. Blockmonoid, because, well, you can always create your own tournament and beat Blockmonoid. I
Yeah,
think.
one of these days, I feel like my skill level is getting there. I feel like there was a couple of lucky. I mean, there's always an element of luck in this game, which I love. But part of what, like, I played a lot of chess and Go growing up. Part of what I love about this game is it's highly tactical. Like, you can never plan too far ahead. You can never math it all out.
Yes.
I'm curious if anyone, like, if they always look at these games that AIs beat checkers, AIs beat Go. I'm always curious if someone will build an AI for a good AI for innovation, because the lines, like you said, Gabriel, the amount of available lines that are there is just huge.
Yeah, the number of lines is huge, but in any individual point, the number of moves that are possible to make, there's not that many. Like maybe you have a big hand, but generally, like up to 5 dogma choices, and then draw or whatever, and whatever else you have. I think this would be very susceptible to computer analysis, and it's just a matter of like, well, the fan base isn't there to
Gotta keep on building the fan base.
Yeah.
One televised, one streamed game at a time.
That's right. So I did just look up the statistics, and you're correct. You guys have played 5 times and won all 5.
Next time. Next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it looks like we got 2 minutes left on the Zoom room. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's a hint. I'm going to, go ahead and probably quit this call. But thank you so much, guys, for chatting, and thank you, Gabriel, for
everyone.
joining.
Thanks,
And
Paul. Thanks.
yeah, and thank you so much for arranging for a time, Block and mennonot. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, have a great evening.
Until next time.
Everyone, till the next game.
All right, you too,
Bye.
guys. Bye bye.
Bye.
Take care. Okay, well, I'm going to sign off and stop the streaming. Have a great night, you all. It was fun chatting with everybody.